Good evening. We have Oswaldo here doing our live cast and our script and everything. I'm calling the meeting to order, town board meeting at 6:30. Motion to adopt and amend the agenda, which I have to amend, I have to add an H for new business for use of the park for a tournament for softball. So may I please have a motion to accept that?
I make a motion that we accept the agenda as amended.
Second,
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Motion to amend and accept minutes from the meetings of June 7th, 2021. May I please have that motion?
I'll make, Go ahead, Phil.
I'd like to make that motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
aye.
Motion to authorize budget transfers, if any, and there was none. Motion to pay or order vendors claim for the June bills.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
So carried. The June bills, A fund, $15,643.01. B fund, $1,006.24. DB fund, $16,093.83. May I please have a motion just to accept all those bills?
I'll make that motion to accept.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
So
Aye.
carried. Motion to accept all direct correspondence, which is on our back page. I have that motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
So carried. Public presentation, I don't think I have any. Does anybody want to make a presentation? Motion to accept committee and departmental reports. Is anybody else here to do a Debbie, or anything on your opium committee?
Just that the, Recovery Center in Greenport is having their 1-year, opening celebration on Saturday. So if anybody wants to go down to that,
Yep.
I can give them information, details.
Very nice, we're very lucky to have it. It's been a long time coming. Okay, I did have that. You know what, I forgot mine. It's upstairs on my desk. Just trying to make sure. Here's an agenda if you want.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we finally were able to have a school committee, coalition meeting on June 15th. It was a Google Meet, but it was nice to finally get together and hear how the school, a couple notes that I'm gonna tell you. Ichabod was considered one of the best schools in keeping our students safe, and that's with the health department and so forth, and they've been very good at taking care of our students. A task force is being set up, and a subcommittee is getting back to school full-time, by September's date. Ichabod Crane Summer School and enrichment programs are doing well. They're helping kids that have struggled with remote learning. They're looking to hire a full-time social worker and helping students that struggle and need guidance relating to mental health. A welcome back and short and a soft approach will help support them. Common threads to change policies and equality so substitute teachers can help with mental health issues also. There's a need every day for our students, and the trained staff is very helpful in dealing with these mental issues. My office and myself have been asked about critical racial theory, CRT. I asked them if to call the school or to email their office, but I told them that I would ask. And at the meeting, I was told by the superintendent and the president of the school board that they are not adding that to their curriculum. Residents were pleased to hear that at first. Officer Plass, who is our resource officer, has done a great job, said considering COVID and everything the students have gone and dealt with this year, it was very smooth, and they're hoping to get back 100% come September, which we're all hoping that everything becomes 100%. And building department
I
report.
didn't get anything.
Okay.
Tom said he was gonna send me something, but I didn't get anything.
All right. And the building department's been swamped, so, and they're doing very well, which is good. Public comments. Okay, ladies before gentlemen,
Well, I got a couple
or
of
age
things.
before beauty?
Um,
I got
So-
it, mate.
I just want to speak on behalf of, having the town board, or suggesting that the town board move a little bit more affirmatively on improving the lands, adjacent to, Volunteer Park that were given to the town, by the state. Because really, it's been 3 years, nothing's been done. It's not land that's being used widely for recreation. And I think that that puts us at risk of losing that property. I was happy to see the Sleepy Hollow Horse Riders proposal letter. I listened to their proposal at the rec committee meeting last month. And I just want to speak in favor of it. I think it's a great thing.
So we have a recreation committee that consists of Mark Lining and a few
Right, I
others
know.
that are working on it.
Yeah, well.
And we're not gonna lose it. I don't know where to get
We're
that
not
Yeah.
able, right, Andy?
Well, actually,
We're not gonna ever lose it.
That came up a year ago or 2 years ago?
no, well,
from. It keeps
here's
coming
what
up.
it says. This grant is made and accepted upon the conditions that the land granted herein shall be properly improved and maintained and continuously used by the town of Kinderhook for park and recreational purposes. And if not so used, the title to said land shall revert to the people of the state of New York. So, that's kind of plain English to me. So I would just advocate for.
I know they're working on the disc golf and trying to get that up there, and,
Yeah, well, when the rec committee met last month, the meeting had not been publicized very well. And so only the people really representing disc golf and the horse riding club, Sleepy Hollow, I think, were really there, and one person representing the Boy Scouts. But it was mentioned at the meeting that there may be a number of other groups that are interested, and they don't want to move forward without having kind of a full house on board. So, I don't know, when is the next rec committee meeting scheduled for?
I have a call into Mark Line, and I'll give him another call tomorrow.
Okay, but I would suggest that when you know what the date is, put it on the calendar that's on the town's website.
We did have it on
It
the
wasn't.
calendar,
No, it
we
wasn't.
didn't? No? Oh,
So
sorry.
it wasn't-
We also talked about it at our last meeting as well.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but you see how many people show up at the meeting, sorry. Okay, second thing, I was glad to see that, we now know that at the March 23rd meeting, there was a resolution passed to hire Robert H. Patterson, CPA, to assess, audit, and provide assistance with the accounting and payroll processes and activities of the town. So, at the organizational meeting in January, Mr. Bucci was appointed to be to give auditing and accounting assistance. Do we now need two people doing that in the town? And, why was the appointment at that special emergency March 23rd meeting such an emergency? And then, if you remember back at the April meeting, item E was the bounced check fee, which was tabled. And when asked at the May and June meetings, the answer was, not resolved yet. We're now in the middle of July. That's a long time for a bounced check situation, I would think. Then there is a report, financial report, that the town is required to make to the state comptroller's office. It's 90 days after the end of your fiscal year, or you can ask for an extension for another 30 days. That's 120. Brings you to the end of April. And the information in that report is apparently the basis for the financial information that's posted on the comptroller's website. It's called Open Book New York. And there's still no data listed for 2020 for the town of Kinderhook.
It
So,
has been done. I
Has
did
it?
call Bucci's office. Yes, it has been done.
okay, so
I don't know why it hasn't been put up on the
Well,
controller's office. I couldn't tell you, but it was done, in April, I believe, beginning of April. I have it upstairs.
was there correspondence from the comptroller's office saying that the report was accepted? Because according to.
Yes, through, HCY, is it
UHY.
UHY has all that information, and they can forward it, but they have all that information saying it was accepted.
Because the only thing listed on the comptroller's office website for why it's not listed if it's been submitted is.
Couldn't
that
tell you
there
why
was
they
some
didn't put it up,
issue.
but it has been done. It has, I was right on top of it, I wanted to make sure I was on top of it, and I called up to make sure I got a backup on it.
Okay, finally,
500 pages, so,
there's a lot of data on the comptroller's website.
I know.
I was happy to see on the agenda for tonight that the young person who has been appointed or designated as the confidential administrative assistant is going to be formally, it says appointed, not designated, but however, there's no mention of the town board arriving at the just a reasonable compensation for the services. And that, according to town law, section 29, paragraph 15, the compensation rests with the town board. The amount of compensation is not listed on the agenda, and it then becomes a town charge, so I'm wondering why that information would not be available.
It's in the budget. So, okay,
It was
anything
in the
else?
budget?
Huh?
Well, the position with the
Well, this one,
designation.
yes, appoint the confidential, and when we get to that, then we will put, I will make sure I state it.
Meg, we're past the 3 minutes, just kidding.
No, well, that was it.
Okay. Okay, well, Ed, sorry,
That's okay, Pat.
Herman,
Most of my comments are gonna have to will deal with climate change, I guess. And I don't feel confident, very frankly, that enough local governmental people and countywide are really concerned to the degree that is necessary. All right? I'm sorry, we're facing Armageddon, right? Really, right? And we're gonna outlaw the production of gasoline and diesel fuel. Well, that's a good one, right? And it goes on and on and on. And if we don't get our ore in the water, I don't know where we're gonna be. So I would like to see us be a lot more active with respect to climate change. Come on, folks. If you don't know what's happening out west in California and in the Midwest, then you better go back to school. That's where you belong, okay? It is a disaster. We went from a drought. Did anybody know we were having a drought? We were having a drought. So we went from a drought to a monsoon, right? The creek is right up to the brink, right up to pouring over. So one of the things I would look for from you folks that in the future, when you make appointments to anyone that has anything to do with the land use, that they have some knowledge of climate change. Okay? It is absolutely necessary that we have people, and very frankly, I'm prejudiced on this point. We need more people with scientific knowledge. Now, I know that's I guess, I don't know, a pretty hard thing to come by, but there are some of us around, okay? Some of us have been ignored enough in the past to know that people don't like to hear bad news, but that's what we're facing now. And I just have to say a few words about what happened in Florida. An absolute tragedy. And why? Poor engineering and poor oversight, right? Poor engineering and poor oversight. That's what we saw. And that's kind of what we saw with respect to TCI. And that leads me to another issue. Does anybody know anything about lithium? Do you really know anything about lithium? Look at the periodic table and see where lithium is in its close proximity to sodium. Do you remember TCI? Remember the big problem with TCI? What was it? It was sodium. It was the 55-gallon drums of sodium. Sodium reacts violently with water. Guess what else does? Lithium. Look at the data that talks about how much water it takes to put out an electric car that's on fire because it has lithium batteries, okay? Who cares? Well, I'm sure the firemen do, all right, and they're knowledgeable. My point in all of this is that it is complicated. Life has become so damnably complicated that most of us don't have the time or energy to become involved and knowledgeable. But we need it, right? We need it badly. And with respect to the upcoming meeting, deal with solar panels, at this point in my life, I don't want to hear again from anybody from Albany, okay?
You don't want to hear about it?
I don't want to hear any more from the so-called experts from Albany. We got a head expert up there that's got more arrogance than knowledge. Okay, so I don't want to hear any more from those folks. We have enough people, and I'll give Tim as an example. Tim and I spent a lot of years and effort on the town's planning board, and we dealt with a lot of land use and planning, right? People like that are out there. Utilize them, for crying out loud. I'm sorry, Bill, we don't need that woman or any
This is a big man from New York City,
Okay, we don't need him either.
just so you know.
Or a woman.
Yeah, anyway. So, I mean, I could go on and on and on, but I'm frustrated. And
No.
the more you know, the more frustrated you become.
And as we get older, we get more frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, to tell a farmer that you're gonna take away diesel fuel or even gasoline as a fuel for their machines, you have any idea what that means? You know what that makes the farm equipment they spent hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars to purchase? You know what the value of that becomes? Zero. Zero, because they have to switch to all electric, right? But if you're all electric, those pro-electric nuts, I have some words for them. But anyway, thanks for listening.
Thanks, Ed.
Thank you.
I always enjoy you coming to our meetings over the years, many years. Anybody else? All right, we'll move on.
Nancy?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
I wasn't gonna speak on this, but I know a little bit about the town park and the 70 acres. And it would be good if we had a coordinated approach of all interested parties. I help on the trail committee, and the trail committee is interested in it as well. And I put forward a grant a couple of years ago to try to do lean-tos for the Boy Scouts with the Greenway. We didn't get the grant, but we did try to do something up there. And the town has mowed the land and taken care of it, so it's not that we haven't done anything up there.
No, I know,
think we just have to do.
I know, and then we
I
had
think
the,
COVID slowed it down a little bit.
COVID
Yeah,
did
right.
slow us down, and then we had
Everything sort of stopped.
we got vandalism up there too. And we had to deal with that. so forth, so, yes. And there was a couple of things in Mark Klein, and I gave him some residents that were interested in some stuff to do besides golf, older people that thought of some other stuff, so, to put up there, so we're moving along. I mean, I gotta get a hold of Mark again, and say, I sent him an email, but I got it back.
So I'm a trustee from the village, and that's why I'm here, but I'm also a full-time employee of the controller's office. So I know a little bit about open book, and I think you just have to do a little follow-up, and it'll be fine.
I know
You submitted
it's
the
there.
documentation,
I
it's just a follow-up situation, so.
I know they already got it. I did
They're-
follow up on that, trust me, I was a wreck, I wanted to make sure they got it. And it's this thick, so they got it. But
As
then,
far as-
that's probably it, because they can't read through all.
Right.
Can you imagine New York City?
As far as the reasonableness of compensation, if it's in your budget, then it's at your discretion of what you're gonna pay an individual, so
I
I
don't know,
support you on that.
I don't know. Thank you.
Thank you for your positive comments.
Okay, old business. Well, where is she? We did the speed reductions. Okay,
Just pass them down so we can.
oh, okay, we have copies for everybody, and believe it or not, when DOT called me, they were shocked. They were surprised at how many cars actually went on that area, and I will give you my copy, I have another copy up in my desk.
I can share.
So what it is that, believe it or not, we did two areas, we did down and we did up by your house. Okay, and so the one up by your house in a week's time had 993 people travel, cars and trucks and everything. And then the other one was 677. DOT said that was very high for that area, especially by your house. What?
It's a shortcut.
Oh, it is a shortcut, I know.
It's
I mean,
It's a shortcut, but I don't know, where- they don't go to the other end.
I've been trying to go to the light, but it's
I'd
a
like them to go,
creature of
please go
habit.
to the light, please go to the light.
And so I go the light, cause
Turn
but
left
the thing
like
is,
parallel, and when everybody comes to turn left. out
the
of
funny thing
road.
DOT said is that you had so many by your house, but they didn't have as many down at the other end
Yeah.
by Acabelli's farm. And that means, so they're cutting to the other road. So I said, maybe we should have went to the other side. But they said quite a bit. We are going to do a resolution to try to, Andy, to lower the speed limit on that. I also, and we will send it to the county. The county is already on top of it. So they just need an affidavit saying that it's done, okay? And the other one was for Route 32. We have a petition of signatures from people to lower that speed from 45 and down to 30, I believe it was. We have a letter here. Is this the letter? Yeah.
No, that's Opal shows, this is,
No, this is it. So we have a petition here also that they have done for people that travel that road for speed reduction, and from 45 to 35, they wanna go down to that, and I have that also. The county, I already called them, and I said we had to make it at this meeting, so they're already on top of it, we just have to send it
So you
down
would
to them.
just need resolutions for each of those? to
Resolutions for
refer it
each of those.
And recommend to
And
the
direct-
county traffic committee.
Right.
They review
So
it.
if you can, were you gonna write that up, or do I hand it to you? You want me to make that
Right.
resolution? I like to
Do you have
make
to
that
make a motion
resolution
now?
tonight.
You need to make the motions this
Yeah.
evening and then we can.
So the motion to reduce the speed, to send it down to Columbia County, to reduce the speed on Old Post Road. I'd like to have someone make that motion.
From
I'd like
what
to
to
make-
what?
Oh, it's
It's 40 right
45,
now.
It's 40,
It's
it's 40, and we were hoping,
30?
all right, DOT told me they should do 30.
Really?
Yeah, because the trouble is, you do 30, they might look
If you
at
ask for
it better,
35, you're getting nothing.
because,
If you go for
Yeah.
30, you might get
Pretty good.
35.
So,
For me.
and that's what they're saying. So this is a suggestion
So it'd be
from
a
them.
motion to recommend it to the county traffic committee to review reducing the speed limit from 40
To 30.
to 30.
To 30.
Yep, I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carry. So that will go to the county.
Thank you.
We have to do one for the County Route
And then-
21 as well.
County
32.
Route 32,
Yep,
okay? We need a motion to reduce that speed from 45 to 35, and because usually they do 60, they clock. So, I know.
I'll make that motion as well.
I need a second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carried. So we would get those down to the county, okay? So at least, I was surprised at that many cars over there. Yeah, you are, yes.
What's the time period for 900 cars? You said 900?
It was less than a week.
Less.
No, that's every day.
Every day, that's,
Oh, every day,
that's your
every
average
day,
daily.
every
Average daily
day,
traffic.
oh, every day.
So
But they
it's
did it
from-
for less, they
it's
did it for
from,
5 business days,
Like 7:15 to 7:15.
like
Right.
12 hours.
Yeah.
Do you want this, Amelia?
There's a lot more after 7:15 at night too, aren't there? I mean,
Yeah.
it keeps busy until dark.
Might have too much
Motorcycles.
I still wanna just stop at that light sometimes. Do you remember when it was a blinking light?
Yeah,
We don't go out signage because it's scary out there. We go around to the light, which is not easy either because we're on the other side of King
Right.
Road. So we have to go up and take a left, which people use the left, that one side to actually go left onto Old Post. So they go on either side of the stop sign to go up Old Post Road. So that's fun too. But, yeah, but we go the light. I won't go out there.
I go to the light all the time,
Yeah.
you know. But, you know, unfortunately, we have more cars, more traffic, and a lot more going on.
There's so much stuff on 9H now, that's why.
There is,
Right.
and, I mean, not to make any light of it, but they did put down the middle line on Main Street and over by the bridge finally, down here in Belasha. And they are proactive on getting what they can done there, you know, but people, it's the way they're driving. I mean, I gotta stop, I have to, you know, it's, way people drive, so. All right. Point, B, appoint Molly McGrath as confidential secretary to the town of supervisor at 25 an hour.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carry. Appoint Tom Burrell as code enforcer at, no, that's wrong. At 35K per year. You need a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. He's considered full-time?
Yes. Yep. Solar law amendments, and Phil, you wanna report on that? You have a committee?
Set up a committee and, we have about 9 people on it now. And, we'll have, even though you may not enjoy it, a man from NYSERDA who works with municipalities to help draft, solar laws. And, right now he's tentatively scheduled, to come up here to do a presentation on, next Monday to the committee. And I thought that was a good way to get it started, to bring somebody who's dealt with municipalities before and solar laws all across the state.
Yeah, let that go on the webpage. So,
I'll have it confirmed with him tomorrow.
yes, would you
He's a,
confirm that with us so we can put
It's
it
a
up
tough one to,
the 19th?
Been
to
down.
corner.
It's the 19th.
The 19th.
What's the time for that, Phil?
Be 6:30.
Okay. So,
And I thought that was a good logical way to start it and go from there.
so we'll put that on the agenda, on the webpage. Good. And you
I
have,
will say,
you have people on the committee?
Pardon?
You have your people on the
Yeah.
committee and everything? Good.
Nice mix of people.
Good.
And one of the, just speaking with him on the phone, he did the overlay of the power lines in the town and was quickly able to even figure out where solar farms would even possibly go. And I was surprised at how limited
Oh, yeah.
the land is that would be close enough to the big power lines. Right off the bat, I was like, huh.
Not a lot of
I
places.
mean, it knocked out a ton of Kinderhook.
Mm,
Because again, a solar farm's not gonna, they're not gonna set up and run the infrastructure to hook into the power lines. They're running a business too, so. Anyhow, we'll keep you posted.
Good, well, thank you. Appreciate, let us know as soon as you can.
Yeah,
All right, so
yep,
we can
yeah,
get
I'll
it on the
let you know
webpage
tomorrow.
and everything else. Okay, new business. Kinderhook Memorial Library. Kim, you wanna?
So basically, the Kinderhook Memorial Library sent us a petition, and they would like to put it on the ballot for the 2021 election. The amount to increase is $11,375. And we'll have to put that on for the general election and basically it.
November.
So like a 4%?
Yeah.
Right,
It's
to
been 2 years.
and to be clear, they have the right to do that under
Do it every
special
time.
provisions in
Right.
state law. So having filled out the petition and submitted it, you're just really going to recognize receipt of that. You don't get to say no.
Right, the town clerk just has to send it to the Board of Elections, there's
Yeah.
certain processes that we have to go through.
So you
So
need,
we don't have to make any kind of motions or anything like that, because it's just
I
like that,
would.
they have
I
it.
would.
Just acknowledging receipt,
acknowledge
Okay.
it.
directing.
I would make a motion if you can.
Right, I'll make a motion that we acknowledge the receipt of the proposition and give it to the clerk to put on the ballot in November for vote.
I'll
Okay.
second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So carry. Appoint April Pinkowski as the deputy town clerk to help Kim out, with her duties. I need a motion for that.
I'll make that motion.
I'll
Need-
second it.
All in
Did we
favor?
ask the amount?
Yeah.
18.
$18
An hour.
an hour.
Is this a seasonal job or?
Right now, I'm just needing some more help, as far as, I would like eventually to, when we use budget, I'd like to get a little bit more hours. Right now, my deputy's there for 5 hours and it's just not cutting it. So we're gonna see what happens. She may not even be interested when she sees what's happening. Did I get a second for that? I'm sorry. Tim, thank you.
And an aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
So carry. So now we need a resolution to adopt the Columbia County Natural Resource Inventory. Do you want to talk about this, Phil?
I'd like Bill to, since he's right here, the man.
You of course, right?
Yeah,
Okay, Bill?
and I'd like to
It's up
first
to
thank,
you.
Bill, you
again,
want
the
this?
group that put it together.
You want it?
Ed, let's take it
Oh,
to
you want me to
Ed.
read it? I'll read it.
No, you can read
Yeah,
it.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, it's
generally,
important.
the natural resource inventory was created by the county's Environmental Management Council with a lot of work from men like, and women, men like him, but women too, Ed, and the Columbia County Land Conservancy,
Yes.
Cornell Cooperative Extension, and it took, how many years that, Ed, 3, 4 years?
2 or 3.
Well, the county did adopt it as the way they're gonna
Mhm.
generally look at land use in the county and what the different, well, it's basically, where there's water and wetlands and forest lands and what we can actually use these lands for that aren't, in a position of being in danger of any kind of development or whatever. And the council has asked each of the members to come and ask towns to either create their own natural resource inventory plan or to just accept the fact that they'll use the counties when they use it in planning and development of the town. Is that good?
Yeah, that's,
Ed, is that good?
Well, a large part of the objective was to make those groups within the county that make decisions with respect to land use more knowledgeable.
Mhm.
So it's one way to ask people to do it, but if you say they have to do it, that's different, and I think they should. I think the planning boards, the ZBA and so forth, in making decisions with respect to the land use, should consult that document. It's a phenomenal document. If you haven't taken the time to look it over, and look through it and read it. I mean, it has things as simple as, is the area you live in a prime area for windmills or wind turbines?
Turbines.
There's information in there about that, okay? Et cetera.
And then there's the online system has overlays of the land. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Where you can actually just by pushing a button say, okay, here's forest land, okay, what's underneath it or what's above it or what's around it, and you hit and it puts another layer over it and you can see the differences in it as it changes.
Yeah.
And it's really very simple. I did a workshop with Christine Vedling. Yeah.
Okay, Christine.
Yeah, and it really was straightforward, so if I can do it, I'm sure a planning board can do it.
Yeah, then we'll ask those other boards to,
And the
Get
other
the
board
whole
should be, have access to that bill, we should have them be notified of that also, okay?
I gave hard copies to somebody, but I don't know if you passed yet, thought. And the members of the planning board and the CBA.
I didn't get the hard
They-
copy.
No, it was when Pat was still here, I think.
Pardon?
Pat was still supervisor when they distributed the first editions, didn't they?
Yeah, well, they're around.
Yeah.
Some of us like to see the hard copy, not
That's old
on
for us.
the damn computers. Or worse yet, it's
Well, we have to
cell
make,
phone.
I know, that's a hard one.
Yeah.
we have to make this resolution.
I'd like to,
Make a motion for this here.
make a motion to, accept this resolution.
Need a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's good.
Yeah, the county was very open on it, too, so. After tomorrow night, we'll know more from Galatia's, board meeting, but opening up our building now, we can start having our scouts back and other meetings that we like to have here, and start opening up again, and with, positive thinking forthcoming, everybody's biting at the bit, open up.
Do we anticipate pushback on it, or do you think they're gonna?
I think Galatia's gonna go with it finally, because they're
Okay.
coming back in here to meet, and meetings and so forth. And they're talking about opening up the senior center again, which is a big hurrah,
Nice.
because people have been asking and asking. Down at the Lutheran church, they're doing luncheon and stuff down there now, so Office of the Aging has started up again and so forth. So, I mean, things are looking a little bit better, for all of us. You'll see that there was 2 cases from the weekend, with COVID, but they're related to a camp that people came in from, out of country, I believe. And that's where they came from, but they grabbed it right away, so.
Need a resolution,
Need,
so the building subject to the village of.
we're waiting for Galatia.
We could make the
Already done.
resolution
We can,
subject to.
if you want, sure. All right, make a resolution, and we plan to open up the building.
We'll make the motion for Village of Alatia's approval.
Approval,
If they're okay with it, we're gonna make that
Right.
motion to open it.
actually, they're the only ones holding us back, so. A
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mrs. Facilio contacted me, last week with Mrs. Geiger from school, and to put up a free library box. And I was telling her how I wanted to do one over at the park, but then we couldn't quite set it up. And so we're gonna put one out here. And they already have it made, and they have the books, and, actually, it gets very used, we're very good with the children and the families that are here all the time, at this here park. So, I wanna say thank you to them, and I think the board, do we need a resolution of favor on that we allow it here at our park for Martin H. Gunn building? I don't think we need
I don't
to.
think we need to, right?
Galatia approved it, they said it was a great idea, and I thought it was a great idea, so I just told them that I will let them
Do we
know.
ever get any kickback?
Tomorrow morning, I talked to Frank, Saturday about it, he thought it was great. 9/11 plans, are for the memorial, the park is closed for that day. We are planning a parade. We've already started in the motion to, have a parade start, and it's for essential people and the scouts. So it's fire companies, Kodak fire companies coming in to help volunteer to cook hot dogs and donate the cooking and their time. We have bagpipers are gonna start off. We are doing, last year, one of our residents gave us a 9/11 flag that she had, and we're gonna present that. And I mean, we just are putting it out there, for all the fire companies and ambulance and so forth. So, our plans are underway and we're working hard at it. I got a committee and, Debbie's on it, and so we, I have, Pete Rossmell over there today fixing the lights that were broken and so forth, so we're getting it all done, so, I'm looking forward to that. Next month I will give you the final, I think the parade starts at 5, it's on a Saturday.
Yeah, or 4, I think.
I think it's
Four or
lined up at
five,
4,
yeah.
and, parade's at 5 because it gets dark a little bit earlier now. Back then, in September, we don't have to worry about that. And then we'll have all line up and gonna go from the school over to the park, so hopefully, and, State Farm Road, so,
But because it is the 20th year, we wanna do something really big this year for that.
yeah. And our scouts are so proud of their monument, so,
Yeah.
and, so we're doing that. The cannabis, opt, I called back in April. It came into effect the end of March. I've given all the board members what I've gotten from New York State, all right? They don't have their committee quite set up yet. It's gonna be like an ATF committee. The laws, we have to the end of the year to opt in or opt out. I'm also, hopefully that residents will give some, I already had some feedback on it. But I told them I would need it in writing, so I would like them to email us, at the town, if, how they feel and so forth. And I gave it to Valatia. Right now, we're waiting for a little bit of, guidance. I did highlight, for the board. This is a sample of the cannabis law, just so you know. I did highlight about the, tax. And this, I called the state committee up until Friday. They said they don't have the committee set yet. I called the state, Senate office, about taxes and so forth. And I think that's where the tax is distributed to local government based on where the retail dispensary is located. 25% of the tax revenue goes to the county, 75% goes to the cities, towns, and villages within the county, and a portion of the cannabis sales. The town and villages within the town both allow the adult use sales and revenues. And it goes on. It's a lot to read. I really like you guys. I took the initiative for the last couple months and compiled this and got this and made copies for you to read and go over, and discuss it, and then we should all discuss it, and go forward to see how we feel and see what residents feel and so forth. We have till the end of the year, so we have some time to talk about it, to look at it.
Is this online?
No,
Put it online?
no, I got it, I can put it up online, on our webpage. Oh, I got this from Albany. This all came from Albany. So, so I think if you guys wanna, I think we have to look at it to maybe next month and after you read and go over everything and talk about it, and we can, we could set up a committee if you want and so forth. Valatia got the paperwork today, and they're talking about it, at their meeting tomorrow night to see how they feel and see if they're gonna do a survey or whatever, and see how their board feels also. There was indication of already a store waiting to go in as one of these. So it's a lot of pros and cons, you know, throughout throughout our world, our country and our state and so forth. So, I mean, I need a motion if you wanna table it. And I think that would be our best idea, you know, I think it's, you guys
Yep.
need to study and read it over.
Yeah, I don't wanna
Right.
vote on it
Today,
right now.
no.
You know,
And then, like you say,
it's not bad for
for
material,
input.
it's very interesting. Believe it or
tax
not.
stuff
I read
is
it
the
4
biggie.
times already.
In
Huh?
my mind, the tax, information is,
The tax information and so forth. We also have to figure out, like, people have asked me about code, like building code, like, can you have it by a church or a school? Like ATF, you can't have it in certain areas. You know, where I know
They
when you
still
open
have-
up a building.
right,
that.
3 zones around schools.
Yeah, you know, and, so people are asking that.
That's
But, so I think we have to look what kind of building, security, and so forth.
Should we think about maybe sharing this with our like planning and zoning boards
I
too?
could.
Because I mean, they should probably be aware of it,
Mhm.
you know, I mean, in time, it's gonna probably,
I can send it
yeah,
over
they're
to
gonna come for
Natalie.
permits and stuff, I would
Well, it would
think.
be a retail use at this point, but what we need, as Patsy mentioned, is we need the actual, guidelines with regard to, just like, a retail establishment looking to sell alcohol will be a licensing process. So, I mean, at this point, we would need to know what that would be if the planning board did receive an application. It would be subject to having those guidelines, but keeping them informed certainly makes sense.
Yeah,
It'd be my hope that we'll see that pretty quickly.
Yeah,
We'll start to see some of those.
they have to
reliably
start
willing to-
getting it out
Right.
there. I know the offices were closed last week, you know, and I pulled teeth and, you know, I scrabbled it. Like I got one page, one day, one thing, information, 1 week, and I'm like, oh, come on. So I've been working on it for a while, but this is what I've gotten so far. So read it over, and I think and I'll let the planning board,
Yeah,
we'll
give them
give it
copies
to
of it.
Natalie to pass it on to them.
okay,
All right, and then we can, you know, if we wanna form a committee for next month, you can do so, you know, maybe we'll have guidance, maybe we'll have, who knows? You never know, and that's where I was standing on that, so. So we had a motion to table it, and we had a second, great,
I didn't get that.
you didn't get that?
No.
Debbie,
I'll make a motion that we table this while we get informed.
I'll
second,
second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
So
And
carried.
And I do think a committee would be a
Yeah,
good start. to
I mean,
coordinate
with the committees that
boards.
I'm on, I'm sure Debbie, you've talked about it. I mean, with the opium committees that I'm on and the drug reinforcement committees that I'm on with the county and stuff like that, they're a little skeptical, and I understand, I mean, you know, with everything else, so, I mean, but county has no say in any of this, just so you know. But we're worried about, you know, people, because we're trying to get them into rehabs and stuff like that, so it's like a catch-22, you know? Because I remember my mother telling me the stories about prohibition, so same idea, so it's all everything, so. All right, so we'll do that, and we'll see what we can do, all right? And as soon as I hear something, I'll share it with you, but I got the last pages on Friday from them, so. All right, so H, for the use, I need a motion for Northern Columbia Chaos girls softball team in beginning stages, 6 to 8 teams, they wanna do a tournament. And also coordinate for, food trucks, since they don't have their concession stand up. And they will also coordinate with Lee Norton and Northern Columbia Little League on this. So if we can have a motion that we let them use it for their tournament,
they give
in
us a date?
October 2nd and 3rd, 2 days. At Volunteers Park. Can I please have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second that.
all in favor? So carries, we'll let him know that. Okay. Public comments. Raise your hand. Raise the other one, I like the other one. Yes, Ed. At least you raised your hand.
Yeah, Mike does. I'd like to go back to the issue with respect to the area where you wish to change the speed limit.
Oh, okay,
I gotta, frequently I come out of Albany, out of the village, on Albany Avenue, and very frankly, I'm heading towards Stewart's, okay? So I generally come out to the light, stop at the light, and I make a left. Now, before I approach the light, there is that little spur off to the left. And my opinion, that should be made one way. Because think about it, I've had people, they're behind me, they're in a hurry, and as I approach the light, boom, they zip off on that shortcut to 9H, okay?
oh, okay, yeah.
All right, and think about it, so you get out to 9H, think about what you gotta do with your neck to try to get visibility there, because that's an acute angle, all right? And you're gonna try to see the traffic coming south from the roundabout, all right? And you're sitting there, my head doesn't turn far enough to do that, okay? I think it's an extremely dangerous, to have that be, to permit cars to come out there and make a left turn on a 9H.
That's a good
Turn in
idea.
only, yeah.
You know, it should be one way only, that's it. You can enter from the north,
Use the light.
travel over Albany Avenue. But as far as coming up Albany Avenue, cutting over and making a left, I think it should be forbidden, it should be illegal.
Plus, it's hard when people are coming out of McDonald's and they're coming and you're trying to go and it's a chaotic mess.
Yeah,
Call that lane
that's-
the suicide lane if you're turning lane. If you're coming up 9H and you want to turn left to Old Post Road, traffic uses that for a driving lane, that turning
yeah.
lane. They use it for
Yeah.
a driving lane to get to the light faster than anybody else,
You
so.
need,
yeah.
you need a left turn signal on that light there
Like
at
Keegan.
Keegan. and
Right.
H.
So people don't turn, yeah,
So
but
they
but
don't.
yeah, that's what we call it.
I mean,
like,
it used to be, you couldn't do that, they couldn't have, there wasn't a double through on that light. It was always just,
One
you
lane.
had to pick one lane, and the other lane was left only.
Yeah, right, it was only left, yeah.
So anyway, to get back to my point, I would like to at some point to consider, talk to whoever you have to talk to Andy, whatever, with respect to whether or not you can make that short strip, that short piece of road, one way only.
It's up to the board, we can take a look at it.
You can take a look at it, don't hurt.
Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
yeah.
That's a good idea.
Oh, I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
trust me.
That makes a lot of
You know,
sense.
years ago, we never had these issues, you know that, and I know that, but, you know, now we do, we have a lot more people in the,
My
you know.
recollection is you need to have an engineering study done, I think you're required.
We
to
had
do
that over by,
So I'll look at it and see, I'll
okay, I think
Let
it's,
us
you have
know.
to have a Corps of Engineers come out and look at it.
Make a suggestion while you're lowering the speed limit.
Maybe when we do the county, I can make it that suggestion. Can I do that?
Well, ultimately, it would be our determination.
Right.
So, let me look at it. I'll
Okay.
do some research.
Okay,
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
thank you, Ed.
Anybody else in the public? Go ahead, miss.
So I have a few questions regarding like positions that are open on committees or like these positions that we appoint people, like, you know, when Kim needs extra help and such, like all those positions. Does the town like advertise those positions so that people like within the town can apply for them? Like, how do you find your committee members when you create a committee?
For the
But
town
I
clerk,
guess
I'm
for that-
able to appoint 3 deputies. That's just a
Okay,
total separate thing. But as
so they
far
don't
as
get
the committees,
advertised, that's just something that, you know,
They-
you,
Right,
they-
just like you
they are
get
at
the
my
discretion to
Right.
appoint,
right, local law when we did that, right.
okay, so those
But
aren't
committees,
advertised.
like other committees,
Mhm.
they submit a letter, and to be on that committee or so forth, and then it's the discretion of the supervisor. But usually they put in, like, I don't know what committee you mean, but,
Well, like,
She's talking about like
like
rec committee or something like that,
no,
right?
or
Like-
even for
like,
instance, these committees that you're creating, right, to go over the
Oh, right,
cannabis
okay.
thing.
oh,
Or
okay,
Phil
yeah.
created
But see,
a committee
like
recently
the
about the
solar one.
solar.
The solar
Yeah.
one,
That's not, yeah, that's not a
people
creative
came
committee, that's
in
been on
and
there.
said, can I be on that committee? and I turned it over to Phil, Chris, your son, Mark Linen, some other people,
Jerry
And-
Cosgrove.
yeah,
Right, but
and
you-
so I
that-
said,
That committee's been
and
rolling
Right.
for
so
years.
they were able to get on the committee. That was his discretion to say, oh yeah, these were, and you
So like a
open that
letter
up.
of interest.
A letter of interest, you have to
Or
send
just-
commit a letter of
But that's the
interest.
climate.
So you
smart.
don't go out of your way looking for people to be on these special interest committees, right? Like it's just that, like,
Well,
I
yes.
know that you're gonna be creating a
Right, and
cannabis
then
one,
people
so then I
tell
can send a
us.
letter and say, ooh, I
Right,
I'd
and
love
then
to be
people
on that.
tell us they
Yeah.
wanna be on that committee.
Good question.
Right, normally at the end of the year,
Yeah,
like the planning board, there's
We're doing
their
our,
yearly terms, or 7 years, but I mean, that's normally it's posted then. But that's you're the climate smart.
Would you like to be on the
Each
climate
terms
smart
us.
committee? You just asked.
You know,
You know, it's like that, just,
yeah,
well, it's
maybe
like
we should-
somebody joined.
we put it out there on the
Okay.
webpage that
that's
we
what I
are
was gonna say, we
looking.
should put it on our
We
webpage.
do put it on the webpage.
oh, you do,
Yeah, so we did
Okay.
have about the solar thing, we did stuff. So, but we put it up for a period of time because we're
Right.
constantly freaking changing,
yeah,
you know, which
Well,
is fine.
and I mean, you have established committees, your
Right.
planning board, your zoning board, things of that nature, and that on an annual basis, or when the need rises, you post that.
Right.
And then-
I have seen that, yeah, I was just curious about like,
Same
you
thing
know,
with
these
direct.
additional
No, I know what you're
committees.
saying.
It's
Right.
a
Really
lot
good
of-
question.
See, that we just discussed tonight.
Sure,
So I would hope people will listen or whatever. And it's the same thing with the local law about the solar farms. So we actually have people that came to us and said, I would be interested to be on that committee, which is fine. One thing you don't make it political. You make it to see if you know, you're not gonna pick, Mary Lou that has no idea what a solar panel is. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
But she would be great in rec, you know, and just say, you know, I really don't think, you know, so you guide them, but I don't ever turn anybody down. If you're interested, but you just don't need them all the time either, you know.
right. Okay, I was just
But
curious.
they're out, we put it out
No,
there.
the point I was just gonna make is you have your established committees, and then you have certain ad hoc committees that you
Yeah,
form.
yeah,
And certainly, you know, I think you attempted to garner whatever interest is out there,
Yeah.
but certainly now that you've got your webpage done, you can do that. You can have that be a policy.
and we put it up for a week and stuff like that, you know, or whatever. So we have people that, you know, that send letter of interest.
There's some people that, because there's not enough interest, that we've been putting them on once their term is over and they've gone for 3 years, we pulled it back in.
Yeah,
That's happened a lot.
okay,
We look at it and go, okay, you know, we really like that. And anybody else? Who's that?
I have a question.
Yeah.
All right, Melissa, did you have more questions? I didn't.
oh, no,
Okay.
that's it.
I have one agenda question. So for the park use that you talked about, people can go to the rec committee, right? But then do they have to, what is the protocol for eventually getting a group to use the park? Like if you wanted to use that land, you have to come back to the town board and have.
You have to come to the town board,
Town
show,
clerk.
town, right, insurance, would be a factor in a lot of that. Liability insurance, you have to carry a policy, doing something special like that, you know? And,
So the horse, I didn't go to the rec committee meeting,
mm,
but, so something like the disc golf or the horse riding, they want to make changes to that land, is that why there's a process?
well, the
Or they
disc
just
golf
come and
thing,
apply?
right, the use of it,
Right,
right, but they have to come back because they're raising money to put that up there and so forth. The horse people, did they give insurance? No.
No, they did not.
No, they didn't give insurance,
they
but
gave
they
either.
gave intent. We thought they would be here tonight. They gave intent of what they wanted. So, and other places too. I mean, anybody that uses that, like all the softballs and so forth, you know.
Yeah, I think what it is there's been a discussion about the actual use of the land. And the concern was adopting, let's say, disc golf and putting in that infrastructure, and then does that somehow foreclose
Right.
other activities? The actual usage of the town park, be it up there or in the other areas where the fields are, that would be run by the normal process of what is the event, what is your insurance, things like that. So what the rec, committee's looking to do is make sure that they, give the town board a recommendation with regard to, look, you can have these two uses, they would be compatible. This would be the way it could possibly be scheduled. So that's kind of what's going on.
Maybe horses like disc golf.
Well, and what-
That's called polo.
Yeah.
Kind of polo.
I was gonna do water
And the
polo.
concern
I wanted to do
The concern was
archery.
you don't want, and I
Yeah,
don't
you
think
need
the board has any problem, or the rec commission, any problems with disc golf. They just wanna make sure, look, are there other potential uses out there? We wanna
Right.
hear from the public to say, it's not just the first one that came to the rec commission or to the board, like, these are all the things. And if we do allow something like that, rational planning, are there some things that could be done in order to make sure that you have some flexibility to allow some trails, to allow some other
Right.
things? I think you can, we just wanted to make sure that they fully looked at that.
You gotta also make it that people, everybody in this community of all ages will enjoy that park. And that's one of my biggest things, is that it's for everybody. It's not just for this group, it's not just for that group, it's for everybody in the community. And I had a lot of seniors who told me what they would like and so forth. I brought it out to Mark Lang, thought it was a great idea. I have some proposals to show him, and stuff like that. So, that's what we have to start looking at, is that we've gotta be more, to me especially, bring it out to everybody in the community and not just a group here, a group there,
So my other question was about the federal funding, the American Rescue Plan. Do you know how much the town is getting? Do you know?
We just found out in the
We
last,
just found out in 24 hours. Well, I just got it mailed to me today, I got it today. So it's 2 payments, that they are giving to the town, and it's $529.
Really?
No, I'm lying. One thing I don't do is lie. $529. I don't know when it's coming, I have to,
Do you have to create a plan? Do you have to tell them what you're spending the money on?
we have no guidelines yet.
we're waiting for the guidelines, I just got a letter, literally got a letter this morning from the state saying that, and that forthcoming guidelines will be forthcoming. And we have to use it for some infrastructure stuff that we need for this,
Which we have, yeah.
for this town. I'm not gonna go on vacation with it, haven't done that in so long, I wanna know. But, yeah, so we
Yeah,
just,
I mean, the
literally
list-
just got it
the
today.
Aptly has a list
Huh?
of, there, on the controller's website, there is a list of, it seems what you can use it for. It's pretty broad, but
Right,
there is
Yeah.
infrastructure and broadband.
we have water infrastructure and a few other things
COVID,
like
yeah.
that I'm pretty sure will fit, but until we know.
But no, they haven't given you any idea of what.
No, they just said it, and they wanna make sure the banking is right, and that's what today's letter was about. It comes in, like I said, 2 payments, you don't get the whole thing.
Right.
So I get a payment when they wanna send it, and then the next one next year. So you have a whole year.
And you have a certain amount of time to spend.
No,
2024.
2016,
3 years.
2024. So you don't, like I know the county put theirs in the bank because the next day they got a different guideline to change the guidelines. So I am gonna be very, watch it and make sure that we do it properly. But we did, I did all the paperwork, and so forth, so. Well done.
Yeah, that's it.
Huh?
That's it for me.
So this may be silly, but if we allow the horse trails, we're just gonna have to change the code that says that you can't have horses on.
Every year, let me clarify something. Every year, we allowed a horse event at that park for, I think, 15 years or so. Happened. They got their $1 million liability insurance and they ran it for a weekend. So it would be the same, if that's what they wanna do, yes. If they want horses on the property, my biggest thing is that horses up there, with the amount of wildlife that is up there, and I know for a fact that if they spook a horse, who's gonna know that they somebody's gonna be rescued, I'll be honest with you, without making sure, but you gotta be careful. So the code will have to go through all that remedy.
Well, to be clear too, the code has a prohibition on the use of horses, but it does allow, within that, there's another section that says the activity referenced by that shall be permitted where authorized by the town board. So what Betsy's been saying is historically, a one-time event or something like that, they have historically permitted.
We
But
permitted it every
not,
year.
but
Yeah,
not just open-ended.
Last
So
year was
that's
the
why
first year they
you're
didn't
looking
do
all-
it because of the
Right.
ruts.
now, but these people, Sleepy Hollow or whoever,
Mhm.
they're looking for regular usage trails, like all the time, right? Is that what they're hoping to? Nobody
No.
knows yet?
I don't think so.
It might be
I
once or
think they
twice a
wanted to
year.
use it up there for an event.
Okay. I'm just curious.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they said there's ditches and stuff, so I don't know what they want done, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, they
I
walk
thought they
their
would be
horses
here.
right next to the dog park, but on their property, right, the Ackers farm or whatever.
Acres.
Is acres. It's the funniest thing, cause the dogs, all of a sudden, they all stop.
I know, my thing was,
They go to the fence.
we had the big pandemic and when the park was closed, but people were in there riding horses all the time because there was horse manure all around the place.
No, well,
And I wasn't pleased with that.
no,
But people just figured they could do whatever they wanted.
yeah.
Back then.
That need bigger doggy bag.
Your doggy
I know, we need
I'm not
dog
cleaning
bags.
it.
But I have a question. So speaking of like the 9/11 plans, closing the park, is that gonna affect the dog park?
Well, we were talking about that as a committee, we're not sure, I mean, we're not actually doing it, but I would like to see that, we had a lot of issues last year with our, service, and it was appalling.
But that was like people playing basketball
Well,
and that's
basketball, baseball,
Right.
people running,
That's not
playing
the
in
dog park people.
breaking down the barriers around the playground
Yeah.
and so forth. It was appalling that people had no respect. This is 20 years. How about if we could maybe close at 5?
But that's
Once
what
the
I'm
parade
thinking of.
starts, because you're gonna get in trouble with the roads getting closed.
We just would like to have notice so we can let the
Yeah.
members.
Well, we were
Oh, definitely
gonna,
will.
yeah, we were gonna let you know once the committee, but I think.
Because I'm sure
we're-
everybody will
Just close-
understand, we
Yeah.
just,
Right.
we get people
Right.
sometimes that travel like an hour away.
Do you have an
It's insane.
email
It'll just be
blast that you
closed like
do?
during the service.
We have a Facebook page that actually Michael created and.
Yeah, but you don't do it, so not everybody.
We're collecting email
We're
addresses
collecting-
and phone numbers and all
Like
that stuff. so
Kim
we
gives
could-
me all the applications so that I can get
You
people.
guys are doing awesome, by the way, with the amount of dog park people that
Yeah.
are coming in to get
Yay.
tags, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Doing very
we're
well.
constantly like,
Been doing
guys.
an awesome job. One lady actually got one for her dog that died.
well, because
Because it died, within she was using it and didn't have a
Oh.
tag.
Diego.
Diego, oh, that was so sad. He went to the park like the day before he died, like hours before. He died.
Yeah.
It was so sad. But he was elderly. That woman, she's so kind. She
She
takes
was
all
very-
the elderly rescues that nobody wants anymore because
Yeah, she
they
brought them
only got
with
an
her.
hour or a year to live. Yeah.
No, you guys are doing an awesome
You're
job.
doing very well.
Thanks. So, yeah, we have a Facebook, Friends of
So maybe, what
Kinderhook Dog Park, the group
I
is
was
where we
thinking,
post
so
all
we
these
don't
things.
get.
Kinderhook Dog Park?
could
Friends
have
of
them-
Kinderhook Dog Park, there's the business page, but then Michael also created a group page, so like members or potential members.
Email
That's
me
where
that.
that's where we post
Melissa,
all
can
of
you
them.
email and I'll put it on the
Yeah.
webpage?
That's where we post like all of the, don't forget to get your memberships
I have all
and,
those documents you want me to.
yeah, thank you.
So maybe we might want, because we are closing State Farm Road, so add for convenience for your people also.
Oh, you're closing the whole road.
Most of, from the light
Because the
to
parade is
school,
gonna start at the high school and go to the,
move it down
Town
to the town park, so just for convenience.
Okay.
Well, when you settle on a specific time, like
So
Yeah, we'll let you
the
know.
parade starts
Yeah.
at 5, so,
4:30.
yeah, I would say 4:30. Why don't you start putting the word out there, because I already put the word on our webpage and everything, that the park is closed for that day, so we can set up. I mean, I don't care about you guys being there while we're setting up
Right.
and getting, all the stuff there, and,
Perfect. Thank you.
no, thank you.
that's it.
That's it. Board comments?
If I can make a comment in response to Ed's comment earlier about the environment, and it's complicated, and the more you dive into it, the more, in my mind, the more horrific it is, everything I read and see. And then I do see some things are simple fixes, and then some things like the lithium, and what about this and what about that, are just, who knows where it's all leading. And then I always find like trying to follow a path through that without just giving up on, it's so easy to give up on, well, what the heck, I can't do anything, or it's over there, and it's over there. Oh, it's on that side of the Rockies, or it's on that side of the Mississippi River, et cetera, and, or another part of the planet. And, anyhow, I'm with you on that, and then it's what to do something, is my comment, don't give up. And I'm always amazed, like, the young people who help, let's say the folks from NYSERDA, and it's like, wow, here are these young people, they're still having families, still having babies, and they're still trying to do something to fix what seems utterly broken. And I always find it's always trying to remain positive, or not even positive. I realize I'm quite cynical about many things, but don't let that stop you. Just just keep going forward and try to do something. So that's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you.
We can't give up.
Pardon?
We can't give up,
Yeah.
right? That's not an option.
No.
We can't give up, and Ed, I'm amazed knowing you over the years. And you'll never take this as an insult from me, but your age and your diligence, but you're smart. I brought you up recently at the Dewey Landfill Committee and an ag CAG committee, and I was saying how if only we had maybe younger starting and realizing that you can go on in your life and still be proactive and still do like you have. So I did, believe it or not, a little bit of pat on the back, but I hate to tell you that because, it's you, but,
I'm sure.
But, because I'm on that committee and it's so hard. These people over there have been struggling and we're trying to fix it for them and you just don't get all the answers that you want,
But part of it, bringing up the negative issues is try to wake people up to get them to recognize that there are issues.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how one can go about, I guess there are ways in a positive way to try to wake people up. We have to do what we can do here.
No, at least you have to go in life, my theory is, with no regrets. So I don't regret that I didn't try.
Yeah. Good for you.
Or I wasn't aware, or I didn't say anything, or try to change something, in a positive way, and that's what you've done. So
No, thank you.
picking on me a little bit, that's some of your regrets, but that's all right.
Thanks,
You're welcome. You're welcome. Media? Anything?
I asked my question.
You had enough?
I jumped.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
To discuss pending litigation.
Okay, we have to go into executive session. All right,
Motion.
make
I
a
make a
motion.
motion that we adjourn.
Nope.
And then, I make a motion that we go into executive session
To discuss.
to discuss pending litigation.
No business after.
You need a second?
No.
No.
I second it.
Mr. Brown, yeah.
Thank you.